Hello and welcome to grammar class. Today's lesson is the participle or participial phrase. But first off, what are participles? Well, a participle is a verbal adjective. It's derived or made from a verb, but it can be used both as a verb and as an adjective. In short, participles are verb forms that also act as an adjective in a sentence. There are three types of participles in English grammar. The ing or the fourth form of a verb is known as the present participle, while the third form of the verb is called the past participle. And when having is used before the third form of the verb, it becomes the perfect participle. Well, we have already learnt that participles do the work of an adjective in a sentence. In other words, they modify a noun or a pronoun. Here are some examples of participles to show how they do the work of an adjective by modifying a noun or pronoun in a sentence. He jumped off the running train. In this sentence, running is the present participle, made from the fourth or ing form of the verb run to modify the noun train. In the sentence, hearing the noise we all woke up, hearing is the present participle modifying the pronoun we in the sentence. Then don't sit on the broken chair. Here broken is the past participle made from the third form of the verb break to modify the noun chair. In the last sentence, having finished his work, John returned home. Having finished is the perfect participle because it consists of having and finished, the third form of the verb finish. The perfect participle having finished is modifying the noun John in this sentence. In case you get confused, let me tell you, here modifying means referring to. Now that we have understood the concept of participles, let's learn the participle phrase. Well, a participle or participial phrase is a group of words consisting of a participle and its complement or object and modifiers. Remember, just like a participle phrase also does the work of an adjective in a sentence by modifying the subject or the object in the sentence. A participle phrase generally starts with either a present participle or a past participle or a perfect participle. Accordingly, it may be called a present participle phrase or a past participle phrase or a perfect participle phrase. Now see some examples of participle phrases on your screen. Walking in the park, he saw a strange bird. In this sentence, walking in the park is the participle phrase. It modifies the subject pronoun he and consists of the present participle walking and its modifier in the park, which is an adverb phrase. In the sentence, being tired, I took a break from work, the present participle phrase being tired is qualifying the subject pronoun I. It's made up of the present participle being and its complement tired. Next, disappointed by her failure, she decided to give up trying. In this sentence, we have a past participle phrase, disappointed by her failure, which refers to the subject she. And it consists of the past participle disappointed and its modifier by her failure, which is an adverb phrase. Having returned home from work, he took a bath. This sentence clearly has a perfect participle phrase, having returned home from work. It modifies the subject of the sentence he and consists of the perfect participle having returned, its object home and its modifier from work. So we understand that a participle phrase contains a participle at the start, followed by its object or complement, and also a word or phrase that modifies the participle. So you see, a participle phrase is basically an adjective phrase. Why? Because it does the work of an adjective by modifying a noun or pronoun in the sentence. Up next, we have the position of participle phrases. Well, a participle phrase may come at the beginning of a sentence. Such a participle phrase is called the front position or initial position participle phrase. As an example, taking his breakfast, he left for college. In this sentence, the participle phrase taking his breakfast occupies the front position in the sentence. The participle phrase may also come right after the subject in the middle of the sentence. For instance, John, watching the late night movie, fell asleep. The participle phrase in this sentence, watching the late night movie, has the middle position. The end position participle phrase comes at the end of the sentence. I saw a snake preying on a frog. Here the participle phrase preying on a frog comes at the end of the sentence to qualify the noun snake. So it's called the end position or final position participle phrase. But what is most important is that a participle phrase should be placed directly before or next to the noun or pronoun it modifies in the sentence. If you do not place the participle phrase beside the noun or pronoun it modifies, it will convey a wrong meaning or it will end up modifying an unintended noun or pronoun in the sentence. In fact, it may not even modify a specific noun or pronoun at all. Such a misplaced participle phrase is called a dangling modifier in English grammar. Now see some examples of misplaced participle phrases or dangling modifiers. In the sentence, rising early, Tom went to school, the participle phrase rising early is placed right before the noun Tom, which it modifies. Hence, this sentence is correct. However, in the next sentence, Tom went to school rising early, the participle phrase rising early is placed after the noun school. So there is a question, who rose early, Tom or school? And that's why this sentence is wrong. And then we have the sentence, walking in the garden, a snake beat Ralph. Was it the snake that was walking in the garden? From this sentence, it's not clear which noun the participle phrase walking in the garden is modifying, a snake or Ralph. Hence, it's an example of a misplaced modifier. The participle phrase should be placed directly before or after the noun it modifies. So the corrected sentence would be, a snake beat Ralph walking in the garden. In the next example, being a rainy day, I did not go to school, the participle phrase being a rainy day seems to qualify the subject pronoun I, which is ridiculous. A human being cannot be a rainy day after all. In fact, the participle phrase being a rainy day does not have a specific noun or pronoun to modify in this sentence. So we are providing a preparatory or empty subject it for the participle phrase to correct this sentence. It being a rainy day, I did not go to school. Studying in my room, a snake was seen under the chair. This sentence is also incorrect. Because the participle phrase studying in my room cannot modify the noun snake, it's not clear who was studying in my room. So this participle phrase is a very good example of a dangling modifier. It has no specific noun or pronoun to modify in the sentence. So we can correct this sentence by providing a specific noun or pronoun for the participle phrase to modify in the sentence. Studying in my room, I saw a snake under the chair. Now the participle phrase studying in my room modifies the subject pronoun I. It's clear that I was studying in my room when I saw a snake under the chair. However, there are some exceptional participles in English like speaking, considering, regarding, referring, concerning, etc. that are used as prepositions. Hence, even if they do not have a specific subject of reference, even if they do not modify a particular noun or pronoun in the sentence, they are not considered dangling modifiers. In the examples on your screen, the participles referring, regarding and considering are used as prepositions before their respective nouns. So these are not dangling modifiers in these sentences. But why should we use participle phrases in the first place? What is their importance? Well, participle phrases are used in the synthesis of sentences. They are used to combine two clauses or sentences. For example, we have two separate sentences here. They started early and they arrived in time. Now these two sentences can be combined using a participle phrase like this. Starting early, they arrived in time. Another example, he had failed twice and he lost all hope are two separate but related sentences. We can combine them with the help of a perfect participle phrase. Having failed twice, he lost all hope. A complex sentence is changed into a simple sentence with the help of a participle phrase. While he was going to college, he met with an accident. Now change the subordinate clause while he was going to college into a participle phrase. Going to college, he met with an accident. But before I sign off, a quick reminder. A participle phrase must be placed right before or next to the noun or pronoun it modifies in the sentence. Hopefully you liked the video. Please be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel for more grammar videos. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end.